Several people have asked me, how do you make this ring? I'll show you how it's done today using this beautiful Spencer Opal Triplet that I had available. And either grab your favorite drink and just kick back and enjoy the process here by the fire with me, or take notes and give this a try with your own stone later. Welcome everybody to PrairieGirlRocks. Today we're gonna wire wrap this little Spencer Opal piece that I have. And I'm going to show you the process of doing that, how to make a wire wrapped ring out of this little piece. So without any more hesitation, let's just jump right into this. I picked out some wires that I thought might accent this stone nice. And I've kind of narrowed it down to these two. So this would have been an 18 gauge. This is a 20 gauge. And this is a 18 gauge. So anything like 18, 20, those kinds of wires work really good for this dainty little project. I think I'm going to go with the darker one. Yeah, I think so. It'll just allow those colors to pop all the better. I'm not super specific about the amount of wire that I get. I usually, for a ring that's wrapped in this style, try to just get about a hand's width worth. That's about the extent of the measuring that I do, from the tip of my thumb to about my pinky finger. I might give myself an extra inch just to play with for, you know, decorative flair in the end if I so choose, or in case I want to make a slightly larger size ring than fits my hand. So I'm going to start by getting 2 equal pieces of wire. Like I say, I just kind of roughly, loosely measured the first one. And we're pretty much going to do the same thing here. I'm just going to roughly, loosely. They don't have to be exactly the same, just kind of close. So we got 2 pieces of wire and we're ready to get started. Okay, I hope to wrap this stone so that it'll lay sort of linear on the finger, as opposed to like a horizontal wrap. I hope that it'll lay about that direction on your finger. So I need to space my wire approximately that thick in this first bend. So I'm going to look at my plier and I'm going to say, it's about right there, right? And grab one wire at a time, right in the middle. And I'm going to shoot for that spot that looks like it's about wide enough to house this stone. That looks like the middle. Pretty dang close. And I'm going to bend this at just an exact 90. Straightening out my wire a little bit. Looks like it'll be probably about perfect. And I'm just going to repeat the same process to the next wire. Find somewhere at about the middle. Try to find that sweet spot that's going to house my stone. Bend it at exactly a 90. And then straighten my wire out. Doesn't have to be perfect. You want your 90 to be pretty sharp. If you can get it sharp, you want it to be pretty sharp. But the wires being straight does not have to be perfect at this point in time. So now we have 2 pieces, just with a 90. 2 90s bent into them. And now I'm going to judge about how tall this stone is. And I want to bend just a little above what I need, because this is going to be the facet. And if you don't give yourself just a little extra right here, you're gonna be a little short when it comes time to cover your stone. You want this to be able to reach around your stone and give it a little hug, right? And we're gonna make this one match if we can. Looks like about there. Two pieces that look like that. And now comes the tricky part. This is the part where things kind of matter. I want to grab this little guy tight as I can and bend that as straight down as I can. Get everything as flat and true as I can, which ultimately will kind of require another little adjustment. That looks good. We'll repeat, do it to the other side. Now I have two matching pieces. Well, mostly. There. Try to get my ends so that it'll show you I have two matching pieces. There's just one more move to each one of these pieces to finish them off, and then we're going to put them together. So I'm going to grab just at the bottom of that, and I'm going to give each one of those a solid straight bend out. So now I have two pieces that look like that. I'm going to take these two pieces now, and both of the wires need to sit on top of what we did. So I'm going to do that one more time just so you can see. And it doesn't matter which way you go. I can put these ones on top and then move these ones around to the top over here. Or I can go the other way around. I can put these ones on top and then move these ones over here to the top. Either way, the wires need to both come out of the top, and you're going to snug that little basket right up. Oops, that was a bit too much. I'll give myself just a little bit of room. Okay, so now we have a little basket that should, in the end, house our stone. We're going to alternate around. We're going to start, sure, in this corner. It doesn't matter where you start. I'm going to wrap that wire around the little prong that I have built. And keeping everything as tight as I can, I'm going to come over here and do the opposite corner. I'm going to wrap the prong around the wire around the prong that I built. And keeping everything as tight as I can, now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to wrap the wire around the prong that I built. And last but not least, the final corner, we'll wrap the wire around the prong that I have built. I'm just going to kind of come in here and kind of give everything a little better shape, a little snugger shape. So again, that's going to be the prong where this stone is going to set. Now, you have two choices at this point in time, and this is where things matter. If you want to make a ring that has a triangle on both sides of it, you can see the little triangle that I've just created by pulling these two wires together. You can see that it makes kind of a triangle shape there, just by holding everything the way that the wires have come out. If you're keeping everything straight and you go this way, you could put a little twist right here and everything's snugged up and ready to go. However, if you want the heart shape in your ring, now is the critical step in which you turn your entire project 90 degrees and pull the wires the other way. And you'll see how immediately when I move my fingers, how that's created a heart shape. And then I'm just going to finish that heart shape off with a little twist. Again, if I had pulled the wires the other way, it would make a triangle shaped basket with the prongs going this way. But because I pulled them all the way around, they create kind of a heart shape. And now that I have that done, again, I want the ring to set linear across my fingers, so this stone is going to get wrapped in this prong setting this direction. It's at this point in time that I want to start thinking about what size I want to make this ring. You know, somewhere about a 7 or so, because every time I go to work this wire, if I were to put my stone in first and then bend this around the mandrel, I may open my setting up and pop my stone out. And so I'm going to come over here and decide, do I want like a 7.5? How about like an 8? Get everything set around the 8 where I kind of like it. Do you want to twist your wire all the way you know what I mean? Do you want to keep twisting it? Do you want more than one twist on the side? In fact, with this one, I think I do. So I'm going to give it just one more little twist there before I finish putting it on the mandrel and tightening things up. You could continue to twist if you wanted to the entire way around this ring. You can end this really any way you want. You could actually even stop here and make this hook this up to a necklace. Use it as a setting for a necklace. For what we're doing today though, I think that we will just finish this ring with a simple little wrap down here at the bottom. Okay, as I did the little wrap in the back, we lost about a half a size coming into that. That's okay. And now we need to get these prongs kind of headed the right direction here. Okay, my ring doesn't fit, my prongs are too short. My stone doesn't fit, my prongs are too short. Well, maybe not. Maybe I just don't have it snug down in there. Oops, there kind of goes. But now we're crooked and we don't want that. I have the option, because I am the jeweler, to go ahead and take that over to the flat lap and take some of that backing down so that it will fit down in there. And so I'm going to do that and then just finish bending the prongs down and around this stone. Let's just give it a little false squeeze for right now so you can see. Just a little false squeeze so I can put it on a finger and you can see how the heart lined up and the wire wrapping and all of that. When finished, it will look something sort of like that. Like I say though, just a little tall for now, but I can fix that. So pretty. That is so pretty. What a pretty stone, huh? So much color in there. So much freaking color in there. That thing is gonna be gorgeous when I get it down and into that setting. Oh my goodness. Fun fact, that was Lava Bison's very first attempt at a doublet or a triplet. So considering that was his very first attempt, I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do in the future for more little beautiful stones for me to wire wrap. Oh, I just can't get over some of the color that's in there. It's just beautiful. Anyway, we'll shorten that up and we'll get that set down into a setting, because that thing flashes so dang bright you can see it all the way across the room, and that thing needs to be on someone's finger. Absolutely needs to be, deserves to be. Oh, it's so pretty. I'm so excited about it. I really, really am. What a little stunner. All right, we'll get her wrapped up the rest of the way so we can wear it and enjoy it and admire it. I did indeed take down the obsidian on this piece, and so now hopefully it should fit right in. I'm sure it'll take a little, you know, schmoozing, zhuzhing, and adjusting to get it in there. But yes, now as you can clearly see, it sits down inside the prongs like we need it to. Plenty of room now to turn those prongs over on top of that stone. All right, as you saw, it took quite a bit of fiddling around there to get it to fit in there just like I liked it to. Oops. So I kind of pulled my prongs like all the way to the ends of this stone and really kind of clasp it on so that it wouldn't wiggle around in there at all. Not up, down, side to side, nothing. It is in there. Of course, I don't want to squish it and break it. So, of course, there is a limit at which you do stop. Just stop fiddling with it. And also, like, every little squish you make can undo a squish on the other side. So, I really want to call it quits before I botch the whole thing up, but I love the way that turned out. Is it rugged? Is it rough? Is it imperfect? Yes, it is, but does it have a little bit of a certain sort of charm to it? Yes, it does. I like that it kind of looks rustic. I like that it sort of looks like it just walked out of an old Western movie and landed on my hand, you know, or out of my grandma's old jewelry box. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I think it is stunning. And I straightened everything back out, and we came back out to about an 8 when I got the back all straightened out. So man, I am telling you, you can see that red pop all the way across the room. can literally see this thing flash all the way across the room. Of course, the camera doesn't do a good job catching it, but you can literally see this thing flashing all the way across the room, especially with your naked eye. It's just bizarre, crazy bright, especially in natural light, which unfortunately by now we're out of. This stone is just a banger. This thing is just crazy. Super crazy. Flashy, most brilliant little son of a gun you ever seen. There's a pink one and a green one and a blue one and a yellow one, and they all are very pretty, and they all are everywhere. Thank you guys so much for watching today, and in a world where you can choose to be anything, choose to be kind of a rock hound.